Oh, hey Reese, what's going on today? Hi, how are you? It is, of course, me, Reese T. O'Leary of perpelFLAME and Company. That's right, perpelFLAME. I hope you're all doing fabulous and well. This is episode number 2 of a brand new series that I've crafted called Passive Aggressive with me, Reese T. O'Leary, and we are going to be going through some of my experiences over the last decade in the spiritualist new age industry around Australia and around the world, and some of my experiences. And honestly, this is a bit like a therapy session for me because I've been waiting a very long time to release some of these secrets. So, thank you very much for joining me for episode number 2. If you saw episode number 1 and you liked it, please let me know. Look, my intention with these, just before we move forward, is to, of course, create some form of recognition, understanding, and education on these topics. My intention is not to cause people problems. I want you all to know that, right? So I don't want you to go and send any form of hate, or I don't want you to send any form of... just don't be a nuisance, please. I know I'm being a nuisance right now for some people, but it's well deserved. It's time. But please do not go and send any of these people anything negative. Don't go and comment on their stuff. Don't. If I find out that anyone has gone and done that as a result of any of these videos, I will be quite upset, and I will come and talk to you myself because it's unnecessary. These people just need to be called out, and they need to accept what they've done and move forward from that. That's it. Period. Point blank. Done. We're over. Let's roll the intro. He's passive aggressive. Reese T. O'Leary. Alrighty, Roo. Thank you very much. Did you like my intro, by the way? He's passive aggressive. Thought of that one myself. See, that's what happens when you got creativity. Passive aggressive, I told you. So, look, before we do get into today's episode, I really do need to make a very, very, very serious and important disclaimer. So I'm going to look into the camera when I say this. I really want you to feel this from my heart, and I really want you to hear this loud and clear. This is a very serious topic. This is a very serious topic for me personally, as I myself have had, let's just call it a few, I've had instances or I've had moments in life where I myself have felt this way on multiple occasions, right? Before this time, of course, but I'm all good now. But if this video in any way, shape or form makes you feel a type of way that is not positive, so if it makes you feel low, if you're struggling with your mental health, because we are touching on the topics of mental health, I really want to put this disclaimer out there. If you're struggling with mental health, if you're having a bad day, if you're having a moment, whatever it might be, please seek assistance in one way, shape or form. Don't go to a psychic, okay? Don't go to a psychic. Psychics are not mental health professionals, unless, of course, they've trained to become mental health professionals. Do not seek out a psychic for your mental health issues, please. I don't use the word please. That's the least passive-aggressive word I ever use. Please, make sure you take care of yourself, your mental health, your emotional health, your physical health. I'm going to put some resources both in this video right about now, all over the screen, as well as at the end of the video, and I will also put it in the description of this video. If you need assistance, go and get it right now. If you don't know what assistance you might need, I'm going to open the door and say, please reach out. I will try and point you in the right direction to the assistance that you may require. Just don't do nothing. Don't sit there and don't sit in it. Sometimes that's the worst thing we can do when all we need to do is have a chat with someone. And that could be as simple as one of the services we have here in Australia If you think you're in immediate danger, call 000. If you're in America or Canada, call 911. If you're in the UK, I think it's 111, the number. But if you're in any form of immediate danger, you need to reach out to services now. Don't wait. Don't be afraid, and don't feel ashamed. There is nothing wrong with having mental health struggles, okay? I just want to remove some of the stigmatization of mental health struggles, because I myself have been stigmatized because of my mental health struggles over the years. So let's remove that stigmatization as a society, as a community together, and let's all walk forward and let's help each other, okay? Very important disclosure. Please seek help. If you're not in immediate danger, but you also still would like assistance, again, I will put some resources up. I'm going to mention some for Australia. I don't know any off the top of my head for overseas. However, I do actually. I will mention a couple now. So in Australia, we have a service called Lifeline, which you can call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's Beyond Blue. There's the Black Dog Institute. What else is there? The Butterfly Foundation, I think it's called. We've got a plethora of services for people that need some mental health help, even if it is just to have a chat. Please reach out to those services if you need them. In America, I do understand there is a program called BetterHelp. So I've heard good things about it. I don't know anything about it. In terms of free mental health services, again, I will put up as many resources as I possibly can. So please, everybody, look after yourself. And please know that this story that I'm about to share with you all is very personal, is very deep, and also know that I have recovered from this. I am healed from this. I am okay. I'm fine now. At the time I wasn't, but we'll get into that in just a moment's time. So you're probably all wondering, what is he going on about today? Well, you're about to all find out. I'm doing an episode today for you all on, I'm going to isolate this incident for this episode, because otherwise I could be talking about this topic for a very long time, and I want to try and keep these episodes short for you. I'm going to be talking about the very last episode of Psychic TV Australia and the effects and ramifications that had upon me and why. So let's get into it. Alrighty-roo. So let's go back in time again, as we will be over the course of this series, so that we can understand a little bit better what has been going on in the course of the events of this industry. Let's go back to I can't even remember off the top of my head what year it is. I'm going to put some stuff up there as usual so that you can see. But I do recall I was invited to participate, and I opted to participate in an expo in Canberra run by the very fantastic Nell Archer and Christian Adams. Christian Adams, formerly of, I believe, the Wallabies football team. So they ran an expo in Canberra called CPC Expo, which is Canberra Psychic Centre Expo. Now, the reason why I'm telling you this is because this precedes, it comes before this last episode of PTV. So this expo ran at the, it was, I think, the AIS Stadium in Canberra. I think that's what it's called. I'll, again, put it up there. But it went from Thursday until Sunday. Now, if you've never participated in anything like this, let me give you a bit of a rundown for people who do participate in the industry, because honestly, if you don't support your local genuine good psychics, what are you doing? Yeah, because they put a lot of work and hard work and effort into what they do in a range of different ways. So for this expo, I had to obviously organize who I'm going with, who's going to be managing my bookings. I've got to get bookings. I've got to organize my stall, my set. I've got to get all the stuff together. We've got to pack it all up, and we've got to come from Sydney, which is where I was living at the time, down to Canberra. So it's about a 3.5 hour drive. At the time, my mum, Mama Flame, if anyone knows Mama Flame from back in the day, Mama Flame was quite literally my booking lady. So many people would have met Mama Flame through this instance, through working with me at my expos. So we did the expo, 4 days. Was it amazing? it was to be around colleagues and people, but it was a little bit quiet. From memory, off the top of my head, I think there was a football game or something next door. I don't know, something took our attention away. I remember that much. But anyways, look, 4 days in Canberra. It's a weird place. No offense, Canberrans. No offense, no offense. I got lost. I went around in a big loop and it freaked me out because I, turned left out of my hotel, drove around for 20 minutes and came back, and I turned left back into the hotel, and I'm like, what just happened? Okay? Canberra's a very odd place for me. I'm not a fan. Sorry. ACT people, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Don't hate me. So we did the expo. It was wonderful. It was fantastic, for all that it was. I had some of the most incredible interactions. And to be honest, from that expo, I'm pretty sure that was one of my main places for meeting a lot of colleagues and remaining friends with a lot of colleagues. So as the weekend progressed, obviously stall holders and psychics, we all talk to each other, right? How's your weekend going? How's your weekend? You're going, well, yeah. Because it's supporting each other, right? That's what these expos and events are designed for, not just for us to provide to you all, but so that we as practitioners all have somewhere to kind of exist and, talk to each other and all that jazz. It's nice, trust me, to feel heard and seen when you're a practitioner, because there are certain things that we experience that nobody would really understand or be able to empathize with, simply because they can't, they haven't had that experience, and that's okay, right? So I'm just expressing, I've been working now for 4 days before the event I'm about to speak on, okay? Working my butt off. I was very fortunate to be one of the few people that got booked out, okay? I think I had 2 or 3 spots available. That was it the whole weekend, which is pretty good. That's very good. So thank you to everyone who supported me at CPC Expos. Some of which I still have come back to me to this day, by the way, for readings. So love you all. But okay, so all weekend, there is one particular person who is quite notorious. They're a reader, they're a psychic. I'm about to name them. Just pause. Right, hold your horses. I'm going to name them because I'm not afraid, right? I'm not scared. But there's one person who's quite notorious for always walking around the expo, and I'm not the only one to say this. This got commented on by many people and always gets commented on. And to be honest, because I haven't been around for a while in the last few years, I got ejected and I ejected myself, right? I don't know if they still do this. So hopefully they don't, because I don't think it's professional, and it's stupid, because if you're at an event, you should be doing your work. But anyways, needless to say, Angel Trishelle, I think her name's Tracy Johnson, because again, I don't like these pseudonyms, right? I don't like these fake names. Don't use a fake name, just use your real name, right? But anyways, that's your choice, Tracy. Tracy, all weekend, was coming up to me. All weekend. Are you coming on Sunday night? What was Sunday night? Sorry, let me go back 2 seconds. Sunday night was the very last episode ever of Psychic TV Australia to air on Channel 7.2. Okay? So the TV production had been shut down for whatever reason. That's another episode for another day. The TV production had been shut down, so apparently, according to Tracy, all of the psychics were invited back. Everyone that had ever been... Thanks, computer. Everyone that had been on the show before was invited back to participate in the very last episode. Apparently. Now, all weekend, I kept saying to Tracy, all weekend, and I will never forget this, so try me, Tracy, because this is true. All weekend, I was walking around and she's walking around. Well, I wasn't walking around. She was walking around. But every time we crossed paths, she was like, are you coming on Sunday? Are you coming on Sunday? And I literally said to her multiple times, Tracy, and again, this next part is for another episode of this, and we will do that. But I said, Tracy, I don't think I'm welcome. Okay? I caused waves. The Ryan Mitchinson, was the producer, had the executive producer had the shits with me because I was very outspoken and in the way I thought the show should be run or what they were doing and what they weren't doing. And anyways, that's another episode. We will get into that later. But point is, Tracy, I don't think I'm welcome. You know, why would I come? And also, I'm working and I'm going to be tired because on Sundays, or on the last day of an expo, by the way, everyone, once the expo's finished, we have about 2 hours or 3 hours to get your crap together and get out, right? And that's just the law of the land in terms of event spaces and things like that. So if you've ever run an event, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So of course, on the again, repeating to Tracy all weekend, and from memory, Tracy was not the only person to say this to me. I actually just can't remember who the other people were. I'm sorry about that. But Tracy, I remember you doing this to me all weekend. And it was driving me batty, honestly, because I was like, why are you trying to get me to come? Right? I just was so confused because I'm like, you know, Tracy, what's gone on. You know all of this stuff. We've spoken about this. So what are you doing? Right? Okay, whatever. So I was talking to my mum about it. Mum, what should I do? Should I go? Well, she's like, well, if Tracy's saying to go, go. I'm like, okay, all right, cool. So we pack up on Sunday. We drive literally in like a giant convoy because it was not just me. It was all the other expo holders and, you know, a lot of the other ones that are going back to Sydney. It was like we're all in this convoy, right? Driving up the highway. I drove, what's that, 3.5 hours? I think it took me 4 hours to get to my place at Blacktown with my mum, to drop my mum off, make sure she was all good, you know, from helping from the weekend, and she would have been exhausted, right? Absolutely exhausted. So did that, and then I said to I didn't even unpack my car, guys. My car was full, packed full, and I mean packed full, like the back seat, the boot, the seat next to full, okay, full. I didn't even unpack because I'm like, the episode's gonna start at like 11. It was like 10 o'clock, I think, or 10:30 or 10:15. I don't know. I was like, Mum, I've got to go. I've got to drive from Blacktown to French's Forest, okay? And that's about a 45-minute drive. So at least an hour, maybe. An hour and a half, 2 hours with traffic, okay? So, but because of the time of night and because it was a Sunday, obviously I got there really quick. So on the way there, I'm on the phone with Tracy. I'm on the phone with Mystique. We'll get into that in another episode. And basically, 5 minutes before I arrived, this is where I'm starting to get triggered telling this. 5 minutes before I was due to arrive, so what I mean is, I'm literally in Chatswood, about to turn, like, I remember the turn. It's like a right-hand turn, and then you had to turn left at a roundabout, and then you turned right into the studio, okay? That's how much I can remember, right? Trauma brain. So 5 minutes before, the call cut out with Mystique, and I'm calling back. Yes, while I'm driving, speakerphone. Calling back. No answer. And I'm thinking, what's going on here? And I'm like, she's probably just busy. Right? They're getting ready for the episode. I'll be there in a minute. What's the big deal? Tried to call Tracy. Again, no answer. And I'm thinking, what's going on? Something's weird about this. Like, something's off. I could sense it already. I whipped tail into the driveway because I'm like running late, of course. But half of them knew that because they were also at the expo. So, do you get what I'm saying? They knew that there were stragglers. Now, all these people were standing out the front of the studio and they all watched me pull in, whip tail in. Now, as I got out of the car, my heart's racing because I'm like, I don't know how this is going to go. Because again, as I expressed earlier, I didn't think I was welcome. So to be told that I was welcome when I thought I wasn't welcome, it created a stasis of anxiety for me, right? As it would with anyone else, I'm certain. I don't think I'm alone on that one. And anyway, so I got out of my car. I went to walk over to everyone. Every single person ignored me. You all ignored me, bar one person. bar one person, right? And I'm going to talk about that in a second, because I'm getting heated already. I'm getting heated. So, immediately, obviously, I'm like, okay, all right, we're getting a cold reception here, you know, what's going on? And I'm going, hi, so-and-so, hi, so-and-so, and they're all just going like, pretending like I'm not standing in front of them, by the way. Like, this isn't like we're 20 meters away. I was in front of these people. And as I'm walking up to them, they're all shuffling in to the elevator to go up to the studio, right? So, the only person who had a slither of decency was Maz Rooks. So, Maz, when you see this video, because I know you will, right? I know that people are going to share this around like bloody hotcakes. When you see this, I just really, really want to thank you for being the only adult in the room that night, and being the only adult and also nurturing mother, because I know I could feel the mothering coming out of you towards me. Maz had the unfortunate tasked to her, I believe, I don't know if this is true, I'm just speculating on this one, to come and tell me to piss off. Okay? Now, I'm calling out to Tracy in this moment. I'm like, Tracy, Mystique, hello? What are we doing? What is this? Right? So, obviously, I'm not screaming or anything like that. I started getting really embarrassed. I started getting really flustered. Maz walks up and she goes, honey, I think you need to go. And I'm like, but why would they tell me to come? Why would you tell me to come? Like, I'm exhausted. I've just read for 4 days. You know, I wasn't in the same headspace I am today, guys. You need to understand that. These days, I can take a lot. You know, I can take a lot all at once. I couldn't back then. You know, I was dealing with so many different things. Personally, professionally, whatever. But regardless, I could not handle that. Yeah? I couldn't handle that. So, I said to Maz, you know, okay, whatever. Because she's like, you know, don't worry about it. Just go home. Just go home. Otherwise, they're going to call the police on you. And I'm like, what? Why would you invite me, multiple psychics and mediums on that episode? Why would you invite me only to let me get all the way there to tell me to go home? The executive producer, Ryan, knew. They all knew. Okay? So, let's take a step back, Grace. Let's woosah. So, I obviously started to get really, really, like, auto-embarrassed. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but I started getting tears in my eyes, so I was like, alright, I'm going. Bye. Like, because I can't do that. I can't do that type level of, like... Back then I couldn't anyway. Now I can. But back then I couldn't do that. Just too much confrontation for me. I'm a soft-natured, or I was a soft-natured person anyway. You all ruined that. You know, I was a soft-natured person. I couldn't handle it. It was too much. I got in my car. I sped off because I was so mortified, guys. I was like, what's just happened? What did I do? I'm so confused. Like, what the hell? And then it hit me. These bitches set me up. Oh my God, I just got set up. Holy shit. Now, as I'm driving down the road in Chatswood, I start feeling really unwell mentally, right? And I just went, Reese, pull into the service station. So I pulled into a service station, took my keys out of the ignition, chucked it on the seat, and I just started bawling my eyes out. And I was just like, well, I'm so confused. I don't understand. Now, as I'm doing this, guys, keep in mind, the episode just went live, right? Right then and there. They're going live right in that second. And they're going for it, right? And I'm getting dozens and dozens of notifications because, of course, I had all these people on social media. So I'm getting all the notifications. They're sharing it. They're this, they're that. And it's just compounding on top of me in that moment, and I'm just going, oh my God, like, what is going on here? They're acting like nothing's just happened outside the studio, and I'm thinking to myself, is this actually happening right now? Is this actually happening right now to me? Yes, Reese, yes it was. And yes it did, and absolutely. I remember I called my cousin who got me onto the show, Darren on the Central Coast. I called him. He's like, Reese, don't worry, just go home. I remember I called so many people because I was fearing for how I was feeling, guys. I was fearing for the fact that I was so exhausted and tired. I was so, I didn't understand my mental health and all the things were going on then. So I just was not coping whatsoever, right? And so I had to sit there until I felt safe within myself to be able to drive home. I start driving home, right? I start going to drive home, and the motorway was closed. The quickest direct route for me to go home was closed. So what ended up being, what was supposed to be, as I said, that time of an evening, Sunday night, what was supposed to be literally like a 45-minute hour drive, 2.5 hours. I got home at 3 a.m. I got home when they were almost finishing the episode. I sat in bed and cried for a week. I'm not even going to express what else I attempted. I was just like, what have I done to deserve any of this? What did I do? What did I do? And I still have that question for you all. What did I do? Tracy, can you answer me? I'd like to know. Asking for a friend in the past. What did I do to deserve that? Why did you do that to me? And subsequently since then, why have you not taken any responsibility for doing that to me when I've attempted to raise this with you on multiple occasions and you've flat out denied it, even though so many people know about it? And the picture you've been seeing on the screen from time to time, let's go through all the individuals that were there that night that watched this occur, okay? And again, I'm going to look at my computer screen now. I'm not going to look at you guys. But we're going to go through the photo, so I'm going to put it up next to me. Let me move over because it's quite a large photo. So we'll start from the bottom right-hand side. The lady with the curly hair, the earrings, and I think it's like a grey top. It looks like a grey cardigan or some sort, split down the side with jeans on. That's Josie Currico. I didn't really work with Josie very much, but again, you were an adult, you saw what happened, you could have stepped up, you could have done something, you didn't. So Josie, no worries, yeah? No hate towards you, but you could have done better, considering what you do, okay? So you saw it, you were there, don't deny it. Behind Josie, we've got Jackie Crystal. Jackie, you were lovely, I've worked with you a couple of times on the show. We crossed paths at expos and stuff as well. We were always cordial to each other, but again, you were there, you saw this happen, you could have done something, you didn't. Then, moving left, we have with the headpiece on, so the lovely jewellery on her head, big black, mane of hair with, I think it's like a goldeny green type of caftan thing. Susie Starr. Susie, mate, what happened? We used to be good mates. We were good mates. I thought, anyway. Perhaps I was wrong. Obviously, evidently so. Susie Starr, after being friends with me, you watched this happen, and you allowed it to happen. You watched this happen, and you allowed it to happen. Girlfriend. No. Sister, honey, darling. No. That's not on. Not cool. I've got photos of when Susie used to beautifully drop me home. I've got photos from when we hung out a few times. Like, I actually really got along with Susie. So, Susie, you really disappointed me. And I've tried to reach out again. Again, in the past, I stopped, obviously, but I tried, and you ignored me. So, what was that, Susie? What was that about? Huh? Listening. Waiting. All right. Behind Susie Starr, there's a few people in the background that obviously weren't paying attention because there's one head turned that's hiding. Don't know who that is. Oh, I think I do, actually. Don't quote me on this one. I don't know who it is, but I think right in the back you can see someone's head hiding. I think that might be Mary Tarot. I'm not sure though. I would have to confirm by going back and looking at the last episode, which I will do. And I will be putting up. So, then moving to the left of that person hiding, we've got someone called Jodie McFarlane. Now, I really never knew Jodie. Jodie knew Tracy and a whole bunch of other people that were on the show. As far as I know, they all got Jodie on the show, as far as I know. And I just... Jodie rubbed me the wrong way and I didn't even know her. I still don't know her. I know stuff about Jodie and Jodie's family because I've met one of Jodie's family members. In a random instance, I got to meet Jodie's daughter. So... I don't know what your issue is with me, Jodie, because we don't know each other. We never knew each other. You just got told things about me, obviously, and judged me based off of that, because we had a few, interactions verbally and in writing over social media that weren't pleasant, and I have no idea why. You don't know me. So, and I don't know you. You're probably very lovely, right? But the interactions we had weren't. And you were also there. You saw this. You could have done something, especially as a mother. The only mother there that was doing any mothering was Mads. Moving on. So then the shorter lady in the center there with the red on, nice red top, that's Abby. Abby was the assistant on PTV. Abby was the assistant who couldn't wait to jump in the host seat when they got rid of her, right? No hate towards Abby. Abby helped me a lot on the show. Abby used to grab me a coffee. I hated that she was like an assistant. It was weird for me. I was like, can I just do it myself? But Abby was great. Up until I saw her jump in the host seat. And then I found it really odd and bizarre and weird. Because I was like, has everyone just been waiting to like jump into the host seat? Is that what this is? It was gross for me. Anyways. Abby, nothing against you, but you were there. You saw it. You could have stepped up. You could have done something. You didn't. The person behind that, I have no idea who that is, hey. I don't recognize their face. I can't tell who they are. There's a gentleman to the left of that as well. I also don't recognize and I can't tell who they are. We then have in front of the gentleman at the far back on the left, we've got Ryan Mitchinson with the white shirt, younger looking dude. That was some exec producer that got sent out from the UK to, I don't know what to do, but all he did was cause problems and be the demise of the entire TV show. So, fired the host, got rid of her, tried to screw her over in a number of ways. Anyways, me and Ryan had verbals, both in text messages and whatever else, because he was just a wanker. So Ryan, if you see this, I still think you're a wanker. Because the way you handled that whole situation was atrocious. Atrocious. And let's be honest, was I expecting you to do anything? No. So, you were the one that threatened to call the cops on me. Uh-huh. Yes, I know. I was told. So, moving on from Ryan. In front of Ryan, we've got two lovely ladies. The one directly kind of down to the left of Ryan, that's Florence King. Florence, I've got a very special episode coming up about you. A very special episode. Florence who acts one way, and then when I got in the car with her and the other lady next to her, Nada Mueller, who very lovely offered to drive me home one evening all the way from Chatswood to Blacktown. Thank you very much for the lift home. But I was very shocked to get in the car and hear the sailor mouth, the potty mouth out of both of you. And all of your true opinions of everybody that you were working with at the time, because I genuinely thought you were both two very lovely ladies, and had such, just soft, genuine, kind-hearted. Boy, was I. Ooh. I got a shock when I got in the car and Florence was dropping C-bombs. I swear, guys. I have no problem with swearing. But what I have a problem with is people being fake. Don't be fake. Obviously, I never swore on national TV, right? And I understand. I'm not saying Florence go and swear on national TV. But in my opinion, that wasn't it. Yeah? And you probably should have waited to have a bitch session until you didn't have me in the car. Because I have a really good memory. Anyways, moving on. Florence and Nada. So, Florence King and Nada Mueller, right next to one another there. Again, you were both there. And you both saw this happen. You could have done something. As mothers, as grandmothers, as nurturers, as readers, as colleagues, as friends, which I know we never were, but like mutual respect in the industry? No? Okay. No. No. Apparently not. So, moving on from them. Now, I'm going to preface with this individual. This individual is the only person, apart from two other people actually, that I will say to you, for some reason I don't include them in this. So, to the left of Florence, there's a lady called Rania Hamoud. Okay? If anyone ever comes across Rania, please go and get a reading from her. She does one of the most interesting readings forms I've ever seen in my life. So I hope she's still reading, because tobacco readings I've never seen done anywhere, and I thought it was quite an incredible skill. And when I was chatting with Rania a few times that we got to work together behind the scenes, she was so soft and so lovely. So the reason why I don't include her in this at all, in what I'm saying, is because as like an introverted person, I can't imagine how she would have been able to stand up and, no offense, Rania, if you see this, I don't want you to be offended by that. I just want you to know I don't hold anything against you to do with this story. And I didn't expect you in the moment to stand up either, because I don't think that's within your nature, with all due respect. And if it is, then you should have stood up. But I don't think it is, just based on how we interacted over the time that we did. I thought you were really, really cool. So, I still think you're really cool. And again, I encourage people, if you find Rania Hamoud, and you want to get a reading, please do, and tell her I sent you. Tell her I sent you to get a tobacco reading from her, because I still think that's so cool. Yeah? Anyways, the person next to Rania on the left is a male. Honestly, I forgot his name. But he was one of the production team. No beef with him. I've got zero beef with him. He was actually really funny, to be honest. He used to be in my ear, or in, Mal's ear, like telling us what to do and stuff while we were live. I thought he was quite funny. I do remember little things going on in the background, but it had nothing to do with me. So again, dude, no hate against you whatsoever. And I also exclude him from what I'm saying here, because he's production. I don't expect him to get involved. To be quite frank with you, like, it's got nothing to. He was literally just, making sure that what you got to see was fantastic. So if anyone wants to know why you all enjoyed the production value, thank him. Yeah, he worked very hard for that TV show. I know so. Now the lady in front of him, I think her name's Mary. We never crossed paths, so I also exclude her from this, because again, if you're just knowing me for the first instance, I wouldn't expect you to stick up for me. Does that make sense? All these other people that I've mentioned, though, they knew me. They knew me well enough where they could have defended me or stood up. Now, the person to the left of Mary, that's Tracy. Tracy? Hi, Tracy. How are you, Tracy? The person in front of Tracy, honestly, I don't know them. I don't remember them. I'm like, who are you? Sorry. No disrespect, but I will have to look in the video and I'll put it somewhere here for you to, no offense. I don't know you. And again, same thing as what I said earlier. I don't expect you to stick up for me if you don't know me and I don't know you, right? It's kind of like a weird, like, oh, what's going on here? Like, it would have given you the ick, I'm sure, to be seeing that. And if it didn't give you the ick, do better. It should have given you the ick. Now, the person to the right of that unknown person in front of Mary there is Grace. Now, Grace. My friend Grace, you may not remember, but we actually had a few stalls together. Not together, but next door to each other, where your stall was next to mine or it was a couple of stalls away. We got chatting more than once actually, so you knew who I was. You could have stood up and you could have done something. Okay? Disappointed, Grace. Amazing, Grace. Disappointed. But again, I didn't really have beef with you ever, Grace. So, I mean, I didn't really have beef with any of these people, to be honest. They just apparently had beef with me. Then in the front row, we're going to do the last 4 all together, aren't we? Then in the front row, we have, in the caftan with like the green V, that's Mystique. That is Mystique, yeah? And Mystique is one of the individuals alongside Tracy that were egging me on to come. So, Mystique, you've got a lot to answer for. And I'd like an explanation, or just even an apology would be nice. Because you were on the phone to me 5 minutes before I rocked up, and then you just hung up the phone. Right? Why? Why'd you do that? What was the purpose? And was it your intention to make me feel the way I felt? If that wasn't your intention, what was your intention? Because you did that. You did that to me. Why? So, behind Mystique, next to Abby in the red, on the left, is Susan Penno. Susan Penno is an extremely soft-natured person. Extremely soft-natured. I can't imagine, like, if you ever want to go to war, don't send Susan Penno. And I mean that as a compliment, right? She's so friggin' soft-natured. So, again, I don't expect Susan Penno to stand up and say anything. Although she could have, you know, you can still do something even though you're soft-natured. But, Susan, you know me. You knew me well enough to, you know, we worked together many enough times in many enough spaces. And then last but not least, holding what appears to be... Is that a besom? Are you holding a besom in this photo? A broom? Is Sammy. Sammy the Witch. Sammy the Witch! Well, Sammy the Witch, why didn't you do anything? Mrs. Outspoken? Mrs. I'm always outspoken and always have been? How come you're allowed to be outspoken but I'm not? Is it because you're female and I'm male? I'm confused. Because you're always outspoken. You always have been. And I don't see a problem with that. But what I see a problem with is the inconsistency between you being outspoken and me being outspoken and you not getting in trouble but me getting in trouble. You could have spoken up, Sammy. And you do know me. And we have had multitudes of conversations. Whether you like me or not, what happened was wrong. Wrong. So there you go. That's all the individuals that are in that photo that I can actually see. I'm sure that's Mary Tarot in the background, but I'll double check. Now in the bottom right hand corner, I'm just going to circle the little crystal tree. That's mine. I gifted that to the show. So if you weren't going to have me back on, you should have given me my crystal tree back.
And I want my pink shirt back! I want my pink shirt back!
Because you were being disingenuous and dishonest. I gave you that crystal tree because I was a part of the production. I gave you that crystal tree to add to the set value. So if everyone else was getting their set props back, who the hell ended up with my crystal tree? you're welcome. Okay? Because I know someone took it. I know someone took it from the studio, so which one of yous was it? So anyways, I don't know who it was that took it, by the way. Anyways, so why am I doing this video? Because I think it's about time people understand what happened to me in this industry, and I want to speak out so that it doesn't happen to anybody else. Again, I'm not advocating for any form of retribution, hate, commentary, anything. I don't care. I don't think you understand. I'm so far beyond this. I've had to spend so much time healing myself and, you know, how I feel about these people, how I feel about this situation. It's all finished for me. So if any of these individuals want to come back and apologize, I will accept your apology, absolutely. I'd love to be able to have collaborations or collaborative ventures with you all. I would love to support you all. I would love to be a colleague in the industry. But unfortunately, for whatever reason, you all decided to do what you did. And I still don't understand why. The only thing I can put it down to, and the only thing that everyone always says to me, is they were jealous. That's it. So I don't know if that is even the case or not. Maybe I did something. Maybe I was the problem. I don't know. Because nobody raised it with me. So how the hell am I supposed to know if I'm the problem if nobody raises it with me and then does shit like that? That's bullying. Are we actually doing this in this industry? The love and lie industry? Are you okay, everybody? I told you. I will expose people. So I'm going to go back to and say, Maz, thank you for being the only adult in the room that night. Thank you. Because I fear for what I could have done had you not have provided me the tiniest bit of nurturing that you did. But had you not have given me that, I fear that I might not be sitting here talking to you all right now. Heavy topic, guys. Heavy topic. I did warn you in the beginning, which is why I did all that stuff to, you know, prepare you all. I think about that time so much, and I think to myself, A, I'm proud of how much I've grown. B, I'm grateful to actually have had that experience. I know that sounds weird to some people maybe, but I'm actually grateful to have had that experience because it taught me so much about myself. It taught me about not trusting people and these people. It taught me about them, right? So I, in a weird way, am really grateful for the experience. I know it sounds so backwards, forwards, upside down, but I truly am. And I mean you, none of you any malice, but if we're going to speak on what is true in this community and in this world, we need to start by exemplifying the behaviors that we expect others to show us, or that we're preaching to others. Yes? I don't want to see anyone in that world losing out on money or this, that, or the other, or not having customers or not having business. I want you all to be so successful, and I want you to all be thriving and happy, but I also want you to be real, and I also want you to be honest, and I also want you to be genuine, and I also don't want you to go around and bully others. There is a protection racket running in the spiritualist new age industry here in Australia, and I'm sure around the world, and I'm sure this happens in almost every industry. But let's just say, in the Australian industry, if you're not friends with the right crowd of people, you will get shunned out. And there is a clear crowd of people full of nepotism, or forms of nepotism anyway, within this country, who are shunning really, really fantastic people out of the industry all the time. And it's through jealousy and through spite, I'm sure, and through a whole bunch of other means and reasons. But if you're not in with the in crowd, guys, be careful in this industry. They will come for you, just like they came for me. Just like they came for me. And if they didn't come for me, then why have I had so many experiences like I have? This is one story I've got for you guys. Look how long this story has taken me to share with you all. Wait until the other ones come. I'm not done, guys. But I repeat to you all, send no hate. Do not approach these people and go, why did you do that, Therese? Or if I find out that anyone's done that, I will go so cross it's not funny, okay? Don't do that. It's not about that. But it is about, let's say what is true. Let's move forward together and let's be a community and let's help our community, because that's all I've ever tried to do. That's all I do. 7 days a week. What about you people? Anyways, I'm so happy for myself that I've healed. I'm so grateful that I got to experience life after that. And in solidarity to anyone that's experiencing mental health issues, I know it's a bit weird, I'm like raising my, it's like double entendre a little bit, but I got a tattoo. My first tattoo, my uncle bought it for me as my 18th present. Thank you, Uncle Rick. No thank you to my siblings who still owe me a tattoo from my 18th birthday. I'm 32, guys. Anyways, name and shame. I told you I'll name and shame everyone, my own family included. I got this tattoo and it is a semicolon. Some of you may be familiar with this, some of you may not. I'm going to put some stuff up here. It's a very common movement. I got it on my left hand, on my left wrist, to, because it's my heart, straight to my heart. And it represents the sentence that doesn't stop. The sentence that keeps going. Yeah. And I'm really, really, really happy to say that part of my life is finished. I am so loving life like you don't understand. I love people. I dislike people a lot of the time though. I dislike their behavior, but I love people, right? They're such interesting creatures. And I love to discuss things with people, and I love watching people thrive, survive, and just do the best in the world and just be happy themselves. That's what makes me happy. I get pleasure out of your pleasure. I get joy out of your joy. That's how I derive my happiness these days. So please don't be worried about me in any sense. I'm fine. I feel fantastic. I look at the best I've ever looked in my whole entire life. Is life perfect? No. Life's never going to be perfect for anyone. It's perfectly imperfect for me, though. I have an incredible partner. That does... it makes me want to cry how incredible my partner is. And he keeps me grounded. And he keeps me attached to myself, to reality. He gives me a reason. He reminds me that people do bad things, but people aren't bad people. So, to everyone in this who may or may not be struggling, it's okay. This too shall pass. Everything's gonna get better. I promise you. Don't give up. Keep pushing forward. If you're not okay, it's okay not to be okay. But it's not okay to not do anything about it. So if I can leave you with anything today, it would be to look after yourself, look after other people. Know that I am the way I am because of so many experiences that I've never spoken on before. Sorry, I'm emotional about my partner because I just love him so much. He's so incredible. I'm going to put a photo up. Fuck, I love that guy. What a guy. What a dude. What a dude. Anyways, it's okay. Everyone's okay. We're all okay. But don't ever fucking do that to anyone again. And don't let me catch you doing it to anyone either. Because I think you can all see, I think you can all hear, and I think you can all feel. I'm a fucking divine being. And I don't think all these people have realized how strong they've made me, how indestructible they've made me through all of these experiences. So for that, passive aggressively, of course, all I can say to you all is thank you. Thank you. And I will see you in the next one. Again, here's some resources. I love you all unconditionally so much. Please look after yourselves. Bye for now. Catch us on the flip side.